Hello everyone, it's Bro back with another video, and this is going to be a full course on Confluence for everyone. So this is not only going to be for the Confluence admins that are only focused on the Confluence administration. No, this is for basically all people out there. IT people, non-IT people, doesn't matter, but your company just started to actually use Confluence and you just want to know how to use it properly. So when you actually log into your Confluence, when you're actually given the license, most of the time this is going to be something that you will actually see, which is going to be your overview page. Also, you're going to have your personal space in here, and that is going to be starred automatically, so you will be um, able to actually access it at any specific time. When it comes to the spaces in here, you will mostly see those spaces for whom you actually have the permissions in order to actually see them. And those permissions are mostly set up by your Confluence admins. Not mostly, but they are. But uh, also, you have the other users that can actually administrate the whole Confluence space. That doesn't matter to you. What actually matters is how you actually create the content, how you actually review the content, and etc. So first of all, what you can actually see in here are some of the spaces in here that you're going to see. Then in here, all of the work uh, that you were working on. So if you just want to select the work that you were working on, you can click on that and you can select worked on, and you can see if you actually worked on some kind of a whiteboard, if you actually worked on some kind of a page or something like that. You can always see this created by me, or in this particular case it's going to be created by you. So this counts everything. So it's going to count your created pages, your created whiteboards, your created Confluence databases, your created folders, and even your created smart links. Start option. In here, this is where you're going to see all of your start spaces. So this is really handy if you want to be focused on specific spaces where either you or someone else is constantly updating the whole documentation, and you just want to be updated about this. So as you can see, when you go for the spaces in here and when it says start, you can actually see these two spaces in here. So if I actually go in here, also you can see your draft documents in here as well. Question is, what is a draft document? Draft document is any type of a document that was actually done by you, but it hasn't been published yet for everyone else to see. So what actually Confluence does is all of the pages that you actually write, it saves them automatically behind the scenes until you publish it, and then it becomes available for everyone. But you can see those drafts in here, even though you can actually go in here and it's going to say you haven't created any of the drafts as well. So let's go for the recent option in here. So it's gonna say to you what you actually have edited, what you have visited. You can also star it as well in here. You can watch it. By unwatching something, that means you're not going to be receiving any notifications about a certain change that happens within a specific space and the pages for those spaces as well. Since I'm actually using these two terms, spaces and pages, let's explain this. So basically, like, a space is where it's like a project in Jira, but it's more like a project in Confluence where you're actually keeping the documentation. Of course, that documentation can be different. You can have a space for your IT support, for your IT operations, for engineering support, for HR processes, and etc. So all of those are considered to be specific spaces. Now, most of the time, you're actually going to be working on contributing by creating some of the new pages. However, there actually might also be a chance to you to actually create some of the spaces as well. Let's go for the basics first, okay? So let's go to create. When you click on the create, the very first thing that you're going to have in here is going to be creating your page. Now, when you actually click on this, so this is what you're going to see. First of all, it's going to be the page title, and also you're going to type in all of the other contents. On the right side of the screen, you can actually see the templates. In Confluence, out of the box, Confluence is actually offering you 143 templates. This actually can help you a lot in order to actually save some time depending on what kind of a documentation are you creating. Either you're a product manager, you just need to create some PRDs, you're a Scrum Master, you actually have daily stand-up meeting notes that actually might have been taken, end of the week, or maybe one-on-one meeting report if you're actually the HR and you need to take some of the notes of that meeting, and etc. So it's really good that basically these templates are being given out to you, so you can actually see for them. Also, these are the categories in here, so you can actually browse through the categories. So you have the categories for design, for customer support, for finance, for product management, for project management, and etc. So let's say I'm working within the finance, right? And in here, it's going to be like employee promotion letter. And in here, I can use this, and I can say that this is promotion letter template, for example. Yeah, export this letter as PDF or Word once you are finished. At any time, you can actually go in here, you can close this. Alright, so you can be really solely focused on writing the documentation. Let's break down this editor first. As you can see from here, you're actually able to edit this specific page. Now, right here is like your toolbar. And within this toolbar, you can add some specific text. You can add your headings, you can add, or to actually select a normal text. You can bold your text, you can make it italic, you can also underline it, you can also strike through. If you want to insert some kind of a code snippet, you can do that by selecting code, and then it's going to import some code snippet that you can actually use, and it's more readable when you see that in the code format. It's kind of it gives you more visibility to it. I'm just going to show you in here. So when I select this code, I can say like print, and I can say hello, and basically this is it, and this is how it looks like. So it even creates it in a type of a developer kind of a syntax. So that is pretty okay. You can also select the text alignment if you want to align on the left side, on the center, or on the right side. Actually, there is no option for justifying the text that you actually might have in Word, but these three are just enough. And as you can see, even if it's aligned on the left side, it doesn't really create some much of a big deal. So yeah, I believe that you can handle it well. Text color and highlight color. So for example, if I'm having this code snippet, I can highlight it in, let's say, green. Let's highlight it green. Okay, it doesn't actually work for the code snippets. All right, we're just gonna leave it as it is. You can also add the bullet list, the numbered list, or you can indent the tab. You can also add the action items. This is actually pretty great because when you're having, let's say, a daily stand-up and you need to make some kind of action items, or even better, sprint retrospective, and within those retrospective you want to make some action items that need to be completed until the next retrospective. You can always use action items, and you can even mention people and to, let's say, this user to finish the ROI report by next week, for example. And you can also always add the links in here. Now the great thing is, for example, I can try to highlight this, and when I highlight this, it's gonna say display the text, but when this word has been selected, when it's actually clicked, it leads you to the another page. So it doesn't have to be a link alone. You can select the text and then link it with something. Of course, you can add images, videos, or files themselves. You can mention people. You can add emojis. You can add your layouts. Of course, you can create the tables and etc. Also, you have the inserting of the elements. We're gonna be talking about that a bit later. So you have all of those things written out, right? Okay, so because probably you're going to be writing some stuff. And what actually happens in here, as you can see in here, it's saying close draft. Now this page, by default, as you can see on the left side, it's saying that actually this is indeed a draft. Okay, until I publish this, it's gonna be a draft. Okay, and if I'm ready, and if I say, oh, I'm ready to do this, I want to publish this. When I publish this, I'm giving the options where it's saying the axis, and it's saying anyone in this space can view and edit this page. Now, it's not really wise to actually let anyone within your space for the pages that you have created to actually edit them, because they can change your document and your data integrity is not longer there, you know. And you can say, you know what, I can say anyone can access this, but only some may edit this, and I'm going to say only I can do this, and I'm going to say continue, and I'm going to say alright, publish. Good. So when I publish this page is officially published, and it will be appearing right here. Now, what you actually can do in here, that is the question. So you can actually start this at any time. You can edit this as well. If you want, you can people can actually comment on the documentation, and by simply clicking add an inline comment, they can say, okay, I understand this, for example. And you can actually click on save, and then you're going to be able to see this specific comment. If something needs to be fixed, it can be fixed. Okay, that is the thing to understand. You can copy the link and you can share this page. Now, the thing is, you can share this with specific users, you can copy the link, or you can select this to be a public link. What actually this means, that basically anyone on the internet with that specific link can actually view your page. Now, okay, so you just don't want to share this with anyone, but if you're doing this within like a short-term plan or something like that, yeah, you can toggle this on. When you don't need it anymore, when your stakeholders don't need it anymore, you can just toggle it off. Okay, and that's it. Or you can actually share this in the Slack channel, which is actually pretty handful to have, because if you're like publishing new documentation or something like that, and then you want to update and you want to inform the other users about the features or something like that that is happening, you can always integrate Slack within your Confluence in order to keep your team in the loop. Okay, so those are the things. Now the options. So first of all, you have the options to copy a specific page. You have the options to move, and you're saying in which space you actually want to move this. That is the thing. Also, what else do you have? You have options to export. You have options to export either in Word or Excel or PDF. You have the option to download this. Nothing really happens. That's strange. Usually something would happen. Now you have the options to convert to blog and convert to folder. So if you go to convert to blog, okay, and I select this to convert this to a blog post. Yeah, right now this is going to be a blog post, and as you can see, what actually has changed in here, this is not considered anymore to be a page. Now this is a blog, and what happened in here is, since I selected this to be a blog, each of those blogs will be within its hierarchy. You know, when you visit a blog and you have those articles on the right side or whatever, and when it says like when it's categorized between the months, for example January, February, March, or within the years, if you have some old blog posts, it's gonna be there, and this is really similar to it. So yeah, what else do we have? So since now this is a blog post, okay, this is not a page anymore, so it's different. So if I want to work with a page, I would actually have to work with a page. I can archive the page and I can delete it. What is the difference? When I archive it, it's not deleted, and the thing is, only your Confluence admin will be able to restore that specific page for you. Other than that, it's not possible. But that is better than to have it deleted. It's much better to actually have it archived. Okay. I also have the analytics. So if I actually choose the analytics, You can have some engagement overview, how many total views, who are the unique viewers. This is actually pretty great because you can actually know who is reading your content and who is not reading your content. The question is, why is someone not reading your content, especially if it's work-wise and it's really important, you know, and especially to keep everyone in the loop, to keep everyone synchronized. That is the key. You also have the ownership of a specific page, right? If someone is changing the page, if someone is adding more of the stuff, or just changing the structure of the page, at any time you can say, you know what, you can change the owner. Alright, and I can say the new owner, Alana Grant. She's the new owner. That's it. Okay. Attachments. You can always see the number of attachments within your specific page when it comes to files. Result comments. Yeah, there are no result comments. That is actually happening well when someone is commenting on your specific stuff within your page. It can actually be resolved if someone is telling you, yeah, you can change this, you can change that, you update it again, and you can ask them, when you ask them to actually view it again, to give the feedback, and then give the feedback, yeah, this looks great, you can resolve your comment. Okay. View source, guide related pages, most of those things, you don't have to worry about them. But yeah, those are like creating of the pages. Most of the time you're going to be doing that. What else you might be creating? Unless you want to use the other whiteboard software, Confluence is actually perfect to actually have your whiteboards. So you don't have to juggle between Miro or Figma or some other tool within the whiteboards. You can do basically everything in one tool. And let's say you even can choose and use some of the templates in here, which is actually pretty great. You can always add stickers, let's say for the retrospective, and for the retrospective this actually looks pretty great. You can always add sections, for example. Yeah, and here you can write out what is the section. You can always import the issues from Jira, and you can point out for them, and you can say this one went good when this one went bad. You can even use this for daily stand-ups. That is another use case of your whiteboards. What else you can do? You can put stamps, and you can be like, yeah, this went well, nice, good job. Other more tools, you can add files, you can import stuff, you can create some of the timers, you can of course import the text. Yeah, so the whiteboards are being used for that, and the whiteboards are actually pretty great. I love the whiteboards. You can add comments to the whiteboards. Another important feature. Timer. Yeah, collaborate cursors. Yeah, if someone is on your whiteboard and you see so many those cursors, just like in Figma, you can just disable them and just wait for the update within that specific whiteboard, and that's it. You can share it with others. That is something, of course, what you can do. You can always move it, archive it, delete it. You can also change the ownership. You can export your whiteboard either in PDF, PNG, JPEG. You can choose if you want to actually export the whole whiteboard or only some specific area of that whiteboard. Another great thing for the whiteboards themselves. Yeah. So you will be doing that as well. Most of the time, you're going to be out there writing documentation, seeking feedback from others, or giving feedback depending on your role, creating the whiteboards, collaborating on the whiteboards themselves, creating the new pages, or even perhaps creating a new space. So, in order to actually create the new space, you just click on create and you just create space. Yeah, when you do this, it's gonna ask you what is going to be the name of this space. I'm going to say Confluence for everyone. I'm going to choose this icon here. Now it's gonna ask you what is the purpose of this space: collaboration, knowledge base, or custom. I'm going to say custom. I just want to do it by my way. I'm going to go with the next. I'm gonna be like, yeah, more about these features, really don't care, just wanna have my space. I wanna start creating the pages and everything else. That's good. And in here, within the content itself, you begin. Now, if you want to create some kind of a structure within your space to have like the archives, you can do that by creating your folders. And I can say in here engineering, for example. I can say in here security, for example. And here, if I go for the engineering, I can add a page and I can say my page, and I can publish this. And now this is going to be within my engineering folder. So as you can see, I have some structure there. I've created the structure. It's really important to have the structure. It's really useful. Another thing that I want to show you is how you can leverage. So if I edit this, how can I leverage the Atlassian Intelligence within my Confluence? Now, Atlassian Intelligence is available for the premium members only. Okay, from premium and above. So in here, I can select a specific page and I can say if I want to summarize the writing or everything in here. So I can summarize the writing, and it's going to summarize everything in here. Okay, and I can insert this below, and this is the summary of the whole page that I have here. This is what Atlassian Intelligence actually does. Other thing that Atlassian Intelligence might help you is to change the tone of your writing, to see if you have any spelling or grammar mistakes, to even improve the writing. Okay? Alright, so now it gives you the whole image on how you can actually improve your writing and everything else. So I'm not gonna do that in here. And if you're seeing like this, like robo agents or something like that, this is something that probably you're not going to have, because robo is something that is completely it's a different product. It's generally available for everyone, but of course this costs, and this costs like $24 per user. So yeah, you might think if you actually need Row, but Row is like really powerful tool that takes your whole knowledge base and makes it, like, let's say, much more smarter. Why? Because you can use the robo chat agent to find out more about some of the things that you're not sure. So you can use your natural language to actually ask your chatbot about the documentation that you might have in here. And it doesn't actually stop on the documentation as well. It goes beyond it, because since it uses the OpenAI, you can also use it to search the internet with it. So that is another advantage that Robo gives you, but that is a whole different story on the Robo itself. The primary focus in here is on the Confluence itself. Alright, so yeah, this would be something that I would say to you, that for writing a documentation and collaborating with others is enough. So yeah, everything else is like regarding the permissions, the automation rules, setting the hidden pages, the restricted pages, and everything like that. And that is something that usually the space admins do. And this is something that is not really related to you, to those who actually want to contribute and to create the documentation. Yeah, that is everything that I wanted to mention within this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video. Bye.